good morning everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So my name is Samantha and I am the operator and co-owner of a 2-acre farmstead located in Southeast Louisiana. My family and I just returned from 12 days in Maui, folks. Boots on the ground, passing out money, ministering to people, finding the truth. It was amazing. So this video is going to cover everything from cloud seeding chemicals, getting into your organically grown vegetables, to monkeypox, to, well, the left's takeover of our churches. I will be doing a breakdown video of the money collected and how the money was spent. Now, folks, I do want to make this point here. I saw a message this morning that concerned me a little, but I was more like, really? Had someone write, I sent almost $300 and this is the first video I've seen you giving out money. Well, I'm not sure what YouTube's been doing, folks, but if you'll go look at our playlist, Where Are the Children, there are 3 distinct videos. And those 3 videos alone, almost $2,000 was passed out to those 3 victims. Now, over the course of those 12 days, another $4 grand was passed out. So I'm going to do a breakdown video later, probably Wednesday or Thursday. I will go live and I will do those videos for you. I will tell you how we spent the money we collected, who it went to, how much was given to them, all that amazing stuff. So make sure you be looking in the community post for when I'm tell you that I'm going to go live with that information. We thank every single one of you that sent your dollars. It was amazing. It was amazing. But today's video, I'm fixing to show you some of the craziest stuff going on in America right now. So I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but watch this real quick.
See this? Yeah. Looks like the British government is going to extradite Americans for saying things on social media they don't like. So essentially the British government is going to finally crack down on foreigners breaking their laws. Not in their own country. No, they're going to try to come over to the U.S. and do it. And I got to tell you, as a Virginian, we're stoked, right? Because all of our heroes in Virginia became heroes by fighting the British. So the fact that the redcoats are coming, this is a huge opportunity for us. We are really excited. We even put one of your kings on our flag. Yeah, he's right here. Anyway, can't wait to see you. And if you decide to bring...
It looks like the redcoats don't like the way us Americans express our freedom of speech. But folks, listen, even if somebody says something you don't like, and I hear a lot of things I don't like, you have a right to speak your truth. Because if we can't have adult conversations about topics that we don't agree on, we'll never find the solution. And that's what mainstream media and politicians want on both sides, folks. They want us at each other's throats, unable to have an agree to disagree moment. Now, here is one that I think all of us ought to be extremely, extremely concerned about.
Right, social housing, where essentially it looks something kind of like this, where, look at this. So this social housing program, it's LA's master leasing program to tackle homelessness. To curb chronic homelessness and support people who are often shut out of the rental market, Los Angeles is pursuing an established strategy with a new twist, master leasing. In February, the LA City Council unanimously approved a plan to pursue a master leasing program. With this approach, a master leaser, the government in LA's case, but often a local nonprofit, aka AIDS Health Foundation, rents a block of units or even an entire building from a private landlord and subleases them to tenants who might otherwise struggle to qualify for a rental unit due to a history of legal or financial issues. What are the odds? Homelessness or mental health problems or substance abuse. The goal is to get people off the streets quickly and for good. There's absolutely no barrier. A consultant that helped draft the policy and the former chief program officer for LA Family Housing, a mass provider of housing and homelessness services in LA. You literally can move someone from the street to a home same day. This is what's going to happen. This is what's unfolding. You know, you look at how California has been run just the last couple of years. It's a disaster. I saw this video today. It's like these people, they break down this gate, right? They break down this gate, throw the gate right on the floor or right on the sidewalk, and they steal the motor for this electric gate here, right? And they throw it right inside of a Kia. They take the license plates off of it, And, you know, it's free for all. Maybe they'll sell that for $1,000, $2,000, whatever they sell it for, you know. And consequence for committing that crime? Basically nothing. I mean, you look at LA crime, 8 sentence for a series of smash and grabs. Sentence, it's probably going to be a slap on the wrist. Let's be real. Look at California. You look at what's happening in San Francisco. A lot of people that are committing crimes, the cost of getting caught, you know, is very small compared to the reward of getting away, right?
Basically, this is another private-public partnership, folks. Nonprofits. We have done so many videos on this channel about how nonprofits actually work. So you've got nonprofits in California that are going to come in and purchase privately owned houses and apartment buildings. They're going to work with the state of California to provide housing. Now, out of curiosity, how many of you see a problem with that? Hands up, guys. Okay? Could you see where this moves us steadily closer to communism? I mean, seriously? Go look at places like China and Russia, all right? Because all the apartment complexes or blocks, because they're basically, you know, like housing blocks, are owned by corporations, which are basically the government over there. So this should concern all of us. Of course, I had to do just a quick clip on this. I was here, folks. I was actually there. You guys sent me and you came with me. I went live. Remember this? The paddle out in Lahaina for the fire victims? Well, it was next door to Lahaina, actually, going closer to the Sheraton on the Kahana side of the island. There were thousands of people on paddle boards, surfboards, jet skis, boats, anything. There were newborn babies with floaties on the front ends of surfboards. It was amazing. There were dogs in shark costumes. I have videos of them paddling out to remember the victims of this heinous crime. But look what the mainstream media says. Hundreds. Now, if I could have shown you guys an aerial view of the people along the beachfront, there were thousands there. My closest estimate would have been 4,000 people total, from the boats to the businesses, right? To all the big condos and hotels along that end of the beachfront. 4,000 people. But the title says hundreds, so watch this clip.
In the water just off of Hanako'o Beach Park in Lahaina. Locals know this beach as Canoe Beach. And just a little while ago, and I want to say mahalo nui to Keone with McKenna Coast Charters for bringing us out here, allowing us to witness and participate in this incredibly special and important moment. Now, as you can see behind me, there are still several people out here in the water. I'm going to actually step out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. But earlier today, just a couple of hours ago, there are actually hundreds of people out here on boats, boards, va'a, you name it, all coming together to mourn what happened here 1 year ago today. The inferno that claimed the lives.
Had you guys not sent me, had I not been there, like every other honest person in the world, I'd have seen that headline and I'd have been like, oh, look, like 1,000 people showed up. 4,000. That's 4 times the amount that they actually claimed was there. This, folks, is why it's so important to have boots on the ground, because it doesn't stop there. We went up to the LAA Memorial. There's a video on it. They say there's 102 victims. Then tell me why my family and I counted 146 crosses. Now, the interesting fact was there was a place to sign up your loved one to get a cross. So people weren't just going to put their own crosses there. You stepped in, you signed up, they put a cross up for your loved one. So no double crosses, no people putting their own crosses up and me not realizing my brother did it also. And so now there's 2 crosses representing our mother. Didn't work like that. Also, the animals did not have crosses. They had a cutout of that animal. So if it was a fish, it was a cutout of a fish. If it was a rabbit, it was cut out of a rabbit. Dog is cut out of a dog. So you couldn't mix up the humans and the animals. I thought that was amazing. Whoever did that, brilliant, right? Brilliant. There's 146 crosses at that memorial, folks, not 102. So there's 44 more people that the locals and the family members counted and had crosses put up that the government does not even claim died in that atrocity. That's why we went to Lahaina, not just to bring the money and the love of Jesus across the Pacific Ocean, but to find out those little bits. Just like when we realized that there was a floating harp in Oahu that floated out into the Pacific right outside the waters of Maui the day before the fires. Yeah, mind-blowing there too, right? Then somebody said, well, God, that's like a huge floating ball. Who's protecting that? A warship. I'm just saying, don't kill the messenger, folks. They have a warship that floats around with the floating harp. I don't know. Let's keep going, because it looks like the world has literally lost its flipping mind in the last couple of weeks. Now, for the ones of you who are new here, please hit the like button, double check, make sure you are still subscribed. Make sure you are still subscribed. Also, most of you who saw my video the other day, I still don't know if my husband's going to have a job. He's at work today because he's faithful. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. My birthday is on the 20th. I share it with my mom. So I'm going to be 50 years old. Super excited. God's doing amazing things in our lives. But I think he's doing it because we keep bringing you guys this nonsense and bringing the light into the darkness. Watch this.
Quote, a reparations activist whose work spans the globe. And she hasn't been shy about her hateful racist views.
You have to understand something. Whiteness is wicked. It is wicked. It always means it's rooted in violence. It's rooted in theft. It's rooted in plunder. It's rooted in power and privilege.
It's not just people that she hates. Ekamini wants to burn the whole system down. Here's what she'd change about America's police departments if she had her way.
I would like to see at least 50% of the police budget. Honestly, I'd like to see 80% of the budget taken out and used for different services. That's across the board around the country. Then I'd like to see the police departments destroyed and rebuilt in phases. It has to happen in phases. Completely reimagining what it is. Down to changing the name. So it's no longer police. Y'all are public safety guardians. Okay. And you do not have access to guns so easily, willy-nilly.
This Marxist lady is as radical as they come. So why did Kamala choose her to represent evangelical voters? My next guest might have the answer. Megan Basham is the author of Shepherds for Sale, How Evangelical Leaders Treated the Truth for a Leftist Agenda. This woman does not seem to espouse Christian views. How is she an evangelical leader? How did this happen?
Well, I think what you need to know, Rachel, is that her views sound extreme, but she has been brought into conservative churches, conservative ministries, and they're promoting women like this in order to sway that all-important evangelical vote. So it's really important for your viewers to know that evangelicals are roughly 30% of the electorate, and they are the firewall against the left's agenda. But in 2008 and 2012, over 20% of them went to Obama, and he won. In 2016, very few of them voted for Hillary Clinton, and she lost. But in 2020, once again, we saw over 20% of them go to Biden, and he won. So what we have seen is an all-out effort to infiltrate and capture that evangelical vote from the secular left. What they're doing is they are pumping money into evangelical organizations, and you have evangelical leaders helping them do this in order to create an AstroTurf campaign to convince evangelicals to vote for Joe Biden, now to vote for Kamala Harris, even though her platform is diametrically opposed to biblical ethics on things like what a man is, what a woman is, and the sanctity of life.
Who's funding this co-option?
Okay, so I can give you, so I can give you a great example. So one of the key speakers of Evangelicals for Harris is Claude Alexander. He is the chairman of the board of Christianity Today. Obviously, that is a really trusted brand. It's a magazine that was founded by Billy Graham back in 1956. So a lot of Christians know it and they trust it. But in fact, it has gone very far left. And a lot of people don't know that. Russell Moore, who is the editor-in-chief of Christianity Today, and David French, the New York Times columnist and Kamala Harris voter, they developed a political Bible study funded exclusively by secular left funders like the Rockefeller Foundation and the Hewlett Foundation. And we're talking about organizations that promote abortion and they promote transgender treatments on kids. They helped create and fund this Bible study. It's going into conservative churches and onto conservative college campuses.
So, Megan, really quick, because I don't have a lot of time, but I think it's really important. How can people who are in the pews recognize this co-option, recognize if these groups have infiltrated their churches? How can they confront their pastors to make sure their pastors haven't been used in this way or trying to use them in that way?
First Timothy. So they're coming into our churches and trying to get people to not use God's biblical Bible, his word, to help us make our choices on who we're voting for. This is also the left. They're literally bringing in a vasectomy and an abortion clinic on wheels to the DNC's rally. I don't have any understanding, guys. Now, we really have to open up our minds and we have to think about monkeypox. Are we moving into a second lockdown series? Is that what our future holds? You tell me.
Why you and I should absolutely be skeptical, especially when Dr. Fauci has basically come out and said that he was wrong, or in so many words, he was wrong about how the pandemic was handled the first time around. So let's listen to what this guy from the WHO has to say about this new outbreak.
Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice. The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported Mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of Mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop this outbreak.
I was made aware of this clip, which is extremely disturbing because we have all seen videos of fake food all over the internet. Watermelons that bounce like balls, eggs that are rubber, people buying lettuce that's made out of wax. I mean, like, extremely disturbing. But this beautiful woman got a watermelon from a local farmer, and she thinks it almost killed her. Now, let me tell you what I think it is. I think it's got a lot to do with the toxic chemicals being used to cloud seed. Now, this is one of those chemicals. Here recently, they found it in, like, samples of baby food, mac and cheese, fish, and garden varieties grown in local areas. We have to be very concerned, folks. They're dumping tons and tons of chemicals into our ionosphere and our stratosphere. And that's coming down when they make it rain, okay? Those chemicals are toxic to us humans. So even if the person who gave her husband this watermelon grew it organically, he might not have known that, say, the water he was irrigating with had a high concentration of this chemical. So watch this clip and be forewarned that if you're not growing it yourself, if you're not taking the time to grow your own food, chances are more and more people are going to become sick. Also, there's a reason the Lord tells you to pray over your food before you eat it, folks.
I'm not talking about going to the grocery store and purchasing those watermelons that people are finding that are like rubber. They don't have seeds in them. I think Supreme Family Garden did a video a while ago where he literally was like bouncing the watermelon, and it took forever for that thing to burst open. It was like a ball, like a rubber ball or something. It wouldn't split open, right? And so I'm not talking about buying it out of the store. We all know that the watermelons that you find in the supermarket, more than likely you're not getting just a good wholesome watermelon, right? But what's even scarier for me now is that purchasing watermelons from local farmers, that's scary for me now. And the reason being is because Mr. H, he was with some co-workers of his, and a gentleman who owns a farm. He grows watermelon and all of that. Well, he just happened to show up, and Mr. H and his co-workers were there, and he had a truckload of these watermelon. And he was saying that he grew so many, he just had so many. And so he was giving them to the gentleman who knew him and the co-workers, and he gave Mr. H a few. He gave Mr. H 3 of them. And Mr. H brought them home, and when he sat on watermelons, they were very large watermelons. They looked like crimson sweet. And I bit into it, and I chewed it up, and I ate it. And then I ate the second piece, the second part of that piece that I had. And literally, you all, literally within minutes, my throat started to burn, like burn. Like if you had strep throat or a real bad cold or something like that. It literally started to...
Now, I found this very interesting, and I needed to add it into this video, folks. A wonderful lady that lives in Upcountry Maui, right? Kula, Maui, sent me these pictures. This is Mayor Bissen at an upcountry event for the fire victims up there in Kula and places like that. Almost nobody showed. There were a lot of vendors. Look at all the vendors. There's nobody there. She said the few people in the community that showed up literally could not even tolerate listening to Mayor Bissen rattle on. So all that money spent, people buying booths to sell their goods and their wares, and nobody in the community showed up. Tell you something, what we do actually matters when we link together and stick it out. Last video clip, folks. Do you guys remember the Lacy Peterson case, the young pregnant woman who was like 37 weeks pregnant, and like she was 9 months, and she went missing, and then they arrested her husband for murder. They gave him the death penalty, but he had what the mainstream media wanted to call a mistress, which was an inaccurate definition, because Amber Fry, the beautiful woman that was dating Lacy Peterson's husband, did not even know he was married. So she couldn't have been a mistress, right? She was a victim of him. I saw a little bit about her. You guys, she was stand-up. She was a key witness for the prosecution and the reason he ended up going to prison for murdering his wife and unborn child. When she found out the truth, she stuck to her guns, and they destroyed her in mainstream media. But I think she's a beautiful woman. I thought I would end this longish clip with her just to honor her for being forthright, for being truthful, for putting herself out there to defend a pregnant woman who was murdered unjustly. And I just want to bring that to your knowledge. I want all of us to end this morning's video wanting to be more like an Amber Fry in this world, wanting to be truth tellers even when the going gets tough. Thank you so much for spending your morning with me. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what part of this video was your favorite. Tell me what you'd like to see more of in upcoming videos. This is our platform. You guys, did y'all see what we did in Lahaina? That was not me and mine. That was all of us. It was you guys sharing on social media, you guys sending your dollars, you guys putting your prayers up to God's ears, your lips to his ears. It was all of you rowing in our boat that got us there, kept us afloat, and got us home. Most of you know that my best friend passed away August 7th while I was in Hana. I got the text message and spoke to her family. And the lovely lady that had housed us on that side of the island was there to comfort me as I sobbed, because I did. I knew she was passing. To lose your best friend when you're thousands of miles from home. We got home late Wednesday night after being on airplanes for 20 hours. And thank you, Lisa, again, the lovely Delta agent that gave my family free plane tickets. She was an angel. She came and celebrated with us, became part of our family. She had lived in Lahaina years ago, and she was there to be part of the healing process, to help us pass money out and help us to love on people. And she was part of that. She became part of our family. Now my kids have another Auntie Lisa, you know. We were able to spend time with Justin and Carrie, our friends, and their beautiful 5 children, and help them get their nonprofit for Indigenous farm to table foods up and going. This is what it's about. It's about creating community. And that's what this platform is. It's what makes us so different than all of the rest of YouTube. So I love you guys. Please make sure you share this video, get the word out, because guess what? We're going to find another worthy cause, and us as a group, we're going to change another group of people's lives. I don't know when or where. I just know that now that God's got this ball rolling, we ain't stopping, folks.